How's that for a welcome? Feel pretty good? Welcome! My name's Amber Nicole. I'm with Uncharted Tutoring. That's my company. I got t-shirts if you want to buy them. They look like this. You know, I say making together again. Though not right now because schools are shutting down. Not all of them, but a lot. Well, a lot of them. One of the ones I teach at I got the email today where we're not doing that. So that's fun. It's the right decision when it's necessary, but apparently the school just doesn't have the teachers to run. So that's a real challenge, you know? You just don't have the substitutes or the teachers. What a job for administrators. I'm not one. No, for my company, I'm the administrator. I'm the CEO. This is what a CEO looks like, folks. And I've got like 9 people that work for me and all that kind of jazz. As you know, I've been working ski equipment. So I thought I'd start out with this lovely hat. This was the first ever, Russian style hat that I made. Oh, we learned the name for that. What was that? Dom taught me. So it used to tie up. It's lost its cords. I need to remake the cords. It'll be the 3rd set of cords I made on it. But I made this in high school. I made this hat in high school. So well over 15 years ago. Here we go. It's a good look on me, right? Yeah, we like this. See? It's just a good look. See? Yeah, it's a good look for me. The second one I made was this one. More of a pilot hat is what I call it. It's got the contrasting outside with the fur on the inside. I learned more things on this one, but this one was a little more expensive, used a little more talent. The outside on this one is silk and wool. It's like a old school tweed. You can check that out. Ooh, I got hat hair now. It's starting to fray because this one was only a couple years after that, so it's at least 10 years old. It's getting a little matted, the fur. Maybe I should brush it out. But it's warm, and the wool is surprisingly repellent, actually, of water. So if it's raining, this is the one I grab real quick. I should probably wax it just like I waxed that bag I made. But yeah, so another look. This was like my just out of college years look. I think this was like just married look. You like it? This is my look. Here we go, side view. It's a good one. The strings are still around on this one. Just regular cotton strings is what I used. The other one I used leather. And so it did stretch and wear after some time. But you can see this style of hat is something I've been working with and wearing for some time. This little Sherlock Holmes-esque, I guess, if that's your jam. So yeah, making hats and stuff. And that brings us to the hat of the day. Let's pull it all out. I've been working on stuff, so things are a little jumbled. It's been a jumbled day. If I could give a descriptor to my day, it is jumbled. Here's the helmet, right? And this is what I need to wear when I'm skiing. It makes sense. We're all in agreement. Save my brain. My brain's the one thing I got, right? Tighten that chin strap. But I really like skiing in my furry hats, and you can't do that if you're gonna wear a helmet. And I kept going between the two, like on tree days I'd wear a helmet and that kind of stuff, but I didn't want to have to make those decisions so early. So, I made this. I made the pattern for it even. I'm adjusting it. There we go. So this is what I ski in. You love it. You know you love it. I look like a cartoon character, it's so big. Yo. You can picture seeing me on the mountain, right? It fits a little better sometimes. My helmet, there we go. That's where the helmet goes. It straps in a little bit, It's all there. It all makes sense, trust me. Pull it down this way. There's even a hole in the back so I can use the goggle strap. This is what I wear. All right, skiing on the mountain. And we need to alter it. So the cover is still in great shape, but you can see where, this was the origin of the whole story, and you can see how that developed into this. Right? You can see this is the grandma to this. Yes. Questions so far. Glad y'all are here. Hope you're staying safe. Lots of stuff is happening. Let's focus on making today. I really want to focus on making. A couple things that I did off screen while you guys weren't here was I cut out a bunch more of those snot savers. I'll show you how they're gonna kind of look when they come together. We'll switch the view so you don't have to stare at my mean mug. How's this? Ooh, not that one. This one. Of course, that's upside down now because I moved that camera. So we're gonna, there we go. I thought it might give you better sound if my mic was here. I'll open it with this song next time. So here are the pieces I'm working on, right? The ultimate end goal is something that looks like this, right? Something that looks like this, and it wraps around, and then you can wipe your snot on it, okay, while you're out skiing. You get it. Around your mitt. Here are the grandparents of that. But I found, so the unicorn fabric, I think I made it work. You can see the thumb hole is gonna cut into the unicorn a little bit, but not too badly. I'm kind of proud of that. This one, maybe less. We'll show it on this side, maybe. It's still a good little warmer. No snot saver. I really like this one, and I knew I'd like this one. This is the one. It looks like a really great, just like sunset type thing going on. And so I think that's just wildly fantastic. You know, it wraps around. Yeah, this is a great pattern for this. I'm doing at least 2 in this style. Pretty good. It's turned inside out right now because of stuff, but I've got this flannel that's all science and it glows in the dark. So we're gonna make some out of this, at least 2. And then I just cut this one out. It's not my style at all, but I think it might be some of the people I ski with style. You know, nice standard stuff. So I've started batch making these because I'll sew these real fast together when we are not together. I like the song. So, yeah, I've been doing that. What I'm going to work on today, though, as promised, is my ear savers that are going to attach to my helmet. Because one of the things I love the most about these hats that Dom told me the name of, and now I can't remember, it's in the chats. I don't remember. Does anyone remember? I don't remember what it's called. Russian hat. Is this part that keeps me warm, my ears warm. So one of the, you can see, I can feel it on this hat. There's like a couple of different places, like there's been different things sewn onto this hat as fixes for the broken leather. And I need to do a real permanent one, which will involve opening up that seam and putting it in. Although I have noticed that it's a little long for me. So like a little overlap would be ideal, or I need to bring the strings from here to here. Siddharth, welcome. Today, I'm making what I'll call ear snavers. I do know how to talk. I will make something I'm going to call ear savers. So that's what I'm getting to now, because what I like when I'm skiing is warm ears. And so the ear flaps are really important. The ear flaps, however, on my giant helmet cover are a little too big, too warm for me sometimes when I'm getting really active. So my helmet here that I've had many years, cap for cold, well, and for skiing too. So this is not just your standard like cap for cold. Like this is the grandmother, this is the grandparent right here to this is the grandparent. Here, watch this. Watch this. So helmet on, right? So I'm safe when I'm skiing. We get that, right? I want to be able to ski between the trees. Don't want to die. You guys want me to come back. And then, so I made this. Yeah, and it fits my helmet. Now, just skiing with this down is sometimes too much. It's too warm sometimes with these ear flaps being down all the way. So I need to put ear flaps back on my helmet. Ugh, it's not staying forward. I'm gonna have to adjust that chin strap too. But you see this, right? My ears. So I bought this helmet on the cheap. I think it was 25 bucks. It was a decent helmet. It had branding on it and stuff before I painted it also many years ago. But put my hat back on because it's New Hampshire and I'm cold. So the reason it was cheap was it didn't come with any ear warming protection. It's true. None at all. It should have come with some. It did not come with some. So I've always just worn like ooh, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, this just spun out. Interesting. We're going to take it off for now because it will be easier. I hadn't noticed that unscrewed, but it does. It unscrews. It's a screw, folks. We'll put that away. We don't need that right now. So I'm going to make ear flaps for my helmet that will either use these snaps or other snaps. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I'm doing all right. Honestly, actually, you guys, you know what? Everyone just says they're all right all the time. I'm in a earth-shattering depression right now. It is taking me all morning to get my workouts done and my PT so that I can walk. But that's like the sad stories that people don't want to hear and don't want to talk about. But I'm fine, you know, like in that grocery store quick I'm fine sense. But yeah, the depression's really getting to me right now, just to be really honest. Just saying. How about you, Siddharth? Are you like dealing with life? You good? Because I'm okay. I'm fine. You're okay? Is that okay, you're okay? But yeah, my depression's really kicking in ways it's never kicked in before. So I'm glad I'm here. Glad I like got everything together to actually make it on screen. And I'm gonna make stuff and try to make other people's world a little better. If I make other people's world a little better, I feel like my world gets a little better. I get a lot of fulfillment. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. It can really get to you. It can really get to you. So I like to make ear flaps for my helmet here. There is going to be a little bit of MacGyvering to make this work because it's obviously going to be an aftermarket ad to this helmet. And I thought what I would need to do, you can tell I painted it and then I traveled with it too soon. So you see all those marks? That's the clear coat. It didn't have enough time to set apparently. I painted this really great copper, gave it a splash of glitter. It was wonderful and all that kind of stuff, but ultimately did not hold up. Oh wow, it's shattered here. Interesting. I mean, just the clear coat, not the helmet. So, you know, I wear a cover to make it look good too. I'm glad to hear you're doing pretty good, pretty decent. Thanks. Whereabouts are you, Siddharth? Are you in the US? Are you Europe? I know I catch a lot of like people off that time zone who are trying to push off going to bed. Those of us with depression, right? Yeah, it's covered in cat hair. So a little MacGyvering is going to have to happen here, and we're going to Velcro it because as I was looking at this, I realized all this sticks on. You're from Asia. Ooh, you're up early. Ooh, what do you have to do today? Are you just starting your day? I've been to some parts of Asia, mostly, well, Korea, Japan, and China. I've been there. It's night. Is it that late? Wow. Huh. That's, wow. I'm in New Hampshire. I'm in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm about an hour north of Boston, Massachusetts. You know, people know the big cities, right? So about an hour north of Boston. On the East Coast, kind of in that weird pointy bit up there. It's Thursday. Yeah, my Thursday just got interesting. So I got cancellation notices for classes in school. So we'll see what that means ultimately in the end. But today I'm not teaching those classes. Today I'm here with you all. And you're going to help me like walk through this really crazy idea I have for this helmet. I mean, it's not that crazy. I just want the ears to be warm. Yes, New Hampshire. So yeah, I'm USA. Yes, I should have specified that. You're right. I was so state-centric. Yeah, so It's cold here. Is it cold where you are? I'm not currently a professor. I have been a professor. How'd you know? No, do I give it away that much? Yeah, no, I'm a biomedical artist, which means I draw your insides, and health related stuff and other science related stuff. So I'm not teaching right this minute, but when I did teach college level, I taught typography and graphic design because letters have anatomy. And I think that's fascinating. So, yes, I am a professor, but I also teach at schools. So my company, Uncharted, you see the little logo over there in the corner? The little logo. Oh, cold. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that's about where we are too. We have snow. It's mostly melted right now. But yeah, my company, so what I did, I worked for a couple years in pharmaceuticals, making drugs and stuff. And well, I wasn't making the drugs. I was doing like marketing and business development and education, physician education, patient education, recruitment for clinical trials. I was doing all that kind of stuff and just realized that the whole world is like a lot less educated in science than it should be. So I started a company called Uncharted Tutoring. And I have like over 200 lessons that I've written, and all of them use art to teach science. No, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm a biomedical artist, which means I have a lot of the pre-med classes, a lot of the science classes that like people take before they go to med school, or that they take in nursing school. I've got a lot of that. And then I have all the art as well. So I do art and science. No, you're fine. No. I do art and science. So I approach these streams from a very scientific standpoint. I hope I approach this from a scientific standpoint. And I hope to teach you things while I work. Essentially, that's my whole goal for this. Is just I'm going to make stuff and I'm going to teach people stuff while I do it. But so my company, we go into after school programs all around, all north of Boston. And we teach kids science using art. We trick the kids into thinking it's art. So they go into it and they're like, yeah, we're going to make art. And we trick them into doing science. And then, for the people who pay for it, they're like, oh, we only want to pay for science. No one wants to pay for art anymore, right? So we're like, oh yeah, it's totally science. This is everything we're doing is science. And that's true. We are doing science, but they don't want to give money into art. So if we say we're doing art, but we're trying to hit two birds, one stone kind of thing. And it's working. We right before COVID, we had national development plans. That kind of slowed down a little bit, but because no one wants to bring a guest teacher in right now. It's not the safest time to bring in a teacher that attended a different school yesterday. So we'll get there again. I've got some wonderful people working for me. We'll keep developing it. Our surroundings are science. Everything is science. Everything is science. Hence why, you'll see skulls all over my studio as I make space. I've got, little dinosaurs to be my companions. This is Billy. Yeah. That's what's causing my crippling depression right now is COVID related stuff. My heart. So I'm a compromised person. I have a lot of health challenges. I try to be pretty open about it. I've got things like narcolepsy and stuff like that. So I'm one of those health challenged people, and it's just kind of heartbreaking that people don't think I'm worth wearing a mask for. But I keep remembering all the good I'm doing, trying to teach kids, and maybe the kids I teach won't be so not willing to wear a mask. So if you're in Asia, you're probably in like a culture that's okay with wearing masks, maybe, because a lot of Asian cultures are a lot better at that. There's another one. Well, Omicron is so interesting. I was reading a paper the other day that they're thinking it came out of a mouse population, which makes a lot of sense because it mutated so quickly and it was so hidden for so long. So if it is a mouse population thing, it makes a lot of sense. I spilled some water and missed it, so I'm gonna clean that up right now. in all my excitement over science, I knocked over some water. Yeah, see, here in the U.S., I don't get it. People think masks are hurting them. It's weird. It's weird. Ooh, that's no good. That means none of our vaccines are gonna work for that one. Come on, that's too many. Where did that one hide? Who detected it first? And that's the great thing, you know, with with all the stuff, with all the epidemics in Africa, they're really great at detecting this stuff. So, you know, take what you will out of it. I'm gonna use a scrap piece of paper. I used it last night for my demonstration for the adult art class, but I'm gonna use it here to trace my helmet. Booster dose will work. Okay, good. That's fine. That's fine. I probably need to maybe cut out some of my news exposure at this point because I'm getting so done with it all. All right, I just need to like trace what's going on here. I don't know. Can you see? I should do it this way so that you can see what I'm about to do. So this is the ear. This is what I'm going to trace. I want my favorite pencil. Thank you. Blackwing, my favorite. And I'm going to trace this right here. And then trace outside of this and this. And that, folks, is essentially my pattern. I'll smooth it out a little. Actually, I'm probably going to straighten it out a little bit. This is my pattern. Are you impressed? I've already made a pattern. What do you mean by human made? Oh, all that water spilt and really hurt stuff. There we go. I think I saved all my equipment. That's the most thing. Cool. There we are. Clean that up. That's a good mess. Cool. So we're going to straighten this out here. And now I need to measure, you know, it's questionable whether that's where the virus comes from. It is still questionable. Most of the evidence from most of the experts indicates the variant probably came out of the wet markets and a lot of species crossing. The Wuhan thing, the Wuhan lab is an interesting thought. We just don't have a lot of evidence pointing towards it. We're not conclusive away from it, but it's looking like the wet markets. So I'm thinking this is looking like a 1/2 inch-ish width is going to be appropriate as I measure this. And yes, I'm working in inches because I am in America. It's my reference point. It's probably wrong. I'm sorry. So we'll cut a 1/2 inch strip that's this long and 2 pieces this long. Now, here comes the question. This strip should probably, that's going to be a 1/2 inch long, should probably have some kind of a taper to it. Because you can't connect 2 pieces of something to a 3rd piece. Otherwise you'll end up with big open holes. I could make it so that it's not 3D and it's just folded in. That will definitely look aftermarket. It would be a lot easier. I'm thinking. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to taper this. So I think we want a taper roughly 2 inches long. Yeah. So a 2 inch long taper. And we're going to measure this using string. Just get a piece of scrap thread. Oh, that's too small. There you go. Scrap piece of fabric. This is a curve. We're going to measure a curve with a little bit of fabric. That's the length I have. So how long is that? That's going to tell us how long we need to cut the piece of fabric. It's about 5 inches. So I'm going to go for 5 inches at a 1/2 inch wide with roughly a 1/2 inch tolerance. Will I finish this today? That is a great question. I will commit, here's my goal, I will finish 1 ear today. Okay? Whether I can do more than that is really questionable. But I do believe, based on my talent and skills, I will be able to get, I'll be able to get like one of the ears done. So let's make this, can you see? Oh, you can't see where I'm working. Let's pull it down a little. There we go. Oh, I'd love to be able to say I'll do it all today, but I really don't know. Let's pull this here. And we're going to make this 1 inch wide, roughly about-ish. Just roughly. And if it's going to be 5 inches long with, I said 2 inch on each side, that'll bring us to 7. And then to 9, so that's the full length, about here, right? And if this is the mark, and this is the mark, what we want is to connect these to the center here, which I will mark. Nice, nice, right here. Yes, it is daytime. It is, oh, they moved the new Windows update. I don't like it. It doesn't put the time in the corner of all my screens. It is 2 p.m. It is 2 p.m. It is roughly the middle of our day. I'm going to make these a nice little taper by bringing from the edges right here. It's going to be close enough. Here we are, bringing it in, and again. All right, so that's the section that's gonna really connect with the helmet. And we're gonna cut this out because I think I'm gonna need that. I'm not gonna use my rotary cutter because I'm using a thicker piece of fabric because it's just some scrap I had lying around. I'm gonna use my little kid scissors I have sitting here from teaching. Yes, I just had lunch right before I got on, but the last time I started my stream, I was also munching, so I opted not to munch on screen again. I really didn't have a lot of time. I had a lot of fires to put out because of a school closure tomorrow because so many teachers have COVID, that I had 15 minutes really to get ready. So I had 15 minutes for my lunch. So here I am, I'm cutting this down. This is the pattern I'm planning to use to make my ear warmers, ear savers. I thought it'd be funny to call it ear savers, even though that's like not what people usually call these things, because I have snot savers. Yes, snot, you know, the phlegm that comes out of your nose. When you're skiing, you can't always wait for tissue in a line. So I invented a thing to handle that. All right, this is the piece that will go up against the helmet. And of course there's seam allowance designed into this. This is not looking perfectly level. We'll measure it. And I'm gonna cut this one out. That is, we'll have to make 2 of these for each of the ears. There is a disadvantage to this new camera setup I'm trying, and that is that the camera on the side here is a little bit in the way. This one. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, see, I'm hitting it. Yep. COVID is really heavily affecting students. It's really, online learning is not great for most people. Some people can do it, sure, but for young kids it's really not ideal. And, you know, for those of us that are working with kids that are like maybe, you know, they have learning challenges or their home situations aren't the best or they just need the teacher to be there for them, it means a lot of kids get lost in the system. I am not using a DSLR camera. I have a couple things. They're Zoom cameras. They're not Zoom like the company that does the teleworking, but they're, do I have any that aren't in use right now? No, they're I've got 3 of them pointed at me. I do have nice cameras because like this COVID thing happened and suddenly teachers had become these awesome streamer types. I didn't stream before COVID. I didn't stream before COVID. And so I started teaching. This is my teaching setup. I teach like this. People are like, oh, this is really great. You should start streaming. And I was like, really? I'll look into it. And so I did. And here I am streaming because I have all the equipment for it. Yep. I have these like here. I can show you one of the cameras using one of the other cameras. There you go. So here's one. And here's the one that's floating in the sky. So this one is the one that's above my hands, so you can see that. Or I can bring this one, I think, as long as the iron isn't in the way, under the other one. So yeah, and then there's another one that I hang right in my monitor. So when I'm looking up at the screen, it looks like I'm looking at you. Tricks of the trade, I don't know. I saw that one on some newscast that they were doing that. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's what I should do. So that my teacher, because I was so worried about making eye contact with my students. Like some of them are in really tough situations. And, you know, the teacher is maybe the only other stable adult that they get to interact with. And that's just sad. I do have an old GoPro. They're not GoPros, they're Zooms. They're made for musicians. They have fantastic microphones on them. And they just happen to also put a camera on it. It was a good choice. It was a good choice. And I had to buy like 5 of them for all my employees to switch to remote teaching. So yeah. Okay, which side did I trace? This is the side I traced. So this is out. We'll say this is in. And that will help me keep this straight. They are tiny cameras though. Now what do I want to make my ear protector fabric out of? Therein is the question, isn't it? I'm definitely leaning towards a fleece, so a nice fluffy fabric, of which I've got a couple here. Because of this, so the blue, here's a little sample of the blue fabric. I am leaning towards this tie-dye fabric because I like it. The trees are all wrong. Surprisingly, this fabric is actually pretty matchy-matchy with it, but it is just not my style. Thanks. Yeah, this is my studio. This is where I work and my people work and where we pack lessons and stuff. This is just not my style, but it does, this blue in it, this is a really light blue, it does match rather nicely, but this is not my style, and it's the wrong, this is the very wrong blue to go with my jacket, so we're not touching that. I could, so I've got this fabric, let's see. I've got this one, right? Maybe I should go with the unicorns on my ears. This one could work. Like, it's contrasty enough, it's kind of adorable. It's a little feminine, but it's all right. I'm leaning towards the unicorns all of a sudden. I don't know. Let's see. Unicorns. Let's look at the unicorns. Who doesn't want a pair of unicorns protecting their ears? This could work. Okay, let's take a look. This was not the direction I was planning for this, but sometimes when you get in it, you're like, oh, this is the right choice. So, if this is the fabric I'm using, right, that's already on my helmet, and these are the unicorns, what, can I fit a unicorn on this ear flap? Not really. So what I could do is go between the unicorns, and then, I broke a nail today, it really hurt. I could go between the unicorns and basically get this rainbow piece. That would be a nice little thing. Yeah? What do you think? So this is what will get cut out. I'm leaning towards this all of a sudden. Unexpected. And I have one over here that I could cut out without losing, like, fabric for something else. Because I'm just not... So, let's outline this real quick. Well, let's do it from the back. So I'm going to reverse it. So if I do it here, I need to grab a light colored pencil. I'll use this one. Here we go. So if I, maybe right there, let's see. So I could do this, and this would be where I cut out, right? Here we go. And that would be what's on the ear. Okay, but so that's not even going to work that well because the seam allowance is going to have to go... This doesn't have a seam allowance on it yet. I didn't cut a seam allowance. Okay. So we can do this. And this could be the ear flap. I mean, the idea of a unicorn is really adorable. I like it. Is it too kiddie? It's gonna be like childlike. Do I care that it's a little childlike? Is the question. I don't know. Or I can get this. Now that I know there's no seam allowance, there's not enough space here. So let's take it over to the other rainbow and see what that will look like once I give it a seam allowance. So right there, let's trace this. It's a little bit of a seam allowance, not a lot. Okay, so or the ear flap could be this, which is a little more traditional to skiing patterns because this is a Fair Isle knit pattern. It's not actually knit, but it is a Fair Isle pattern, print, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, it could be that. This does really work well with my jacket. And I could do it, you know, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do both. I'm going to make them reversible. Was that too excited? They're gonna be reversible. Okay. I need to sharpen this. Why do I have to choose? I don't have to choose. I don't have to choose at all. Cool. I'm glad I'm me. Okay, so let's really mark this well, and let's see what I can figure out. We're gonna mark this real deep, because I was just doing like some lightweight kind of marking. I need a magnet. This thing's falling all over the place. I use magnets to like keep things in place. Here we go. Because I work on a metal board. Okay. Here we go. Creativity. Oh, and you followed me. Thank you. I just noticed. Thank you for following me. I'm really close to having 50 followers, which apparently when that happens, more other good things start to happen. So I don't know. I'm working towards it. I don't know why. I'm here to try and teach people science and art, and whatever happens, happens. But if this is where we're cutting this one, then, okay, so there's not enough room to cut that unicorn. Got it. We can cut this one? No, I want it to match depth-wise. Like, I want the rainbows to be at the same level on my face. I don't know. They say that good things happen when you get enough certain followers. You're going off. Bye. See ya. Thanks for subscribing and sticking in. It's a lot more fun to have you here than not. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, so I lined this up right here. On the other one, see that? I'm checking this mark. So that's what I'll do again over here. so that I get that perfect lineup on the rainbow. Why do I don't have to pick only one. It's amazing. Why did it take me so long to figure that out? You didn't talk too much. I was glad to have you here. Don't you worry. I could always ban you if I didn't want you. Not gonna do that. I'm glad you're here. I hope you get the rest you need since it's night where you are. All right, so if I do this, okay, we've got that going. Let's sharpen that again. So we've got that. Okay, we've got 2 rainbows. We got 2 rainbows. Look at that. I'm trying to decide. I should do something to make it a little more standard, the deviation that I'm about to make from the pattern, perhaps. Because I only really need a 1/2 inch. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm just going to keep going. Pretend like I know what I'm doing. So we captured this unicorn this time, which means we need to capture this unicorn. No, we need to capture this unicorn this time, going the other way. And I lined it up right below the heart that's underneath it. I'm kind of a little too close. We'll see how that works out with the stomping leg. Right about there. So we'll call it that. And in we go. Down, in and out. Okay. The fabric likes to bunch. It's a thing, okay? Just use smaller strokes as you draw around stuff and it gets better. Look at that. Cool. Okay. Seam allowance here is going to be a challenge. I'll be fine. I'm a pro at this. Yeah? I don't need that much seam allowance, schmeam allowance. Yeah. Some insert joke here about, you know, allowances and kids and whatever. Whatever that is to you. Here we are. Tracing this down around the outside. Ooh, another pop culture reference, unintentional. And this is like drawing at this point. Like my mother would trace it in like with the compass, I think, to make a standard distance. I'm not gonna do that. I thought about it, but I'm not. So, well, I'll show you. I think I've got a tool very readily accessible that I could show you how to use. So like if you really wanted to make sure you were getting, you know, a 1/2 inch difference, you could use a tool like this. And you'd set it to a 1/2 inch, right here, and then you would trace like this, and that would give you a 1/2 inch. I'm going a little more narrow than an actual 1/2 inch, very obviously. I'm going like 1/4 of an inch, which I'm confident I can sew with, but this is holding a pencil lead here, so that's a thing, and I need to use this. So I'm going a little thinner. And I'm not too worried about it. All right. This will keep my ears nice and cozy. All right. So now we have 4 total pieces that we can cut out. Now I need to decide what the upper part is going to be that connects straight to my helmet. You know, I'm just going to go back here and grab some basic scraps, I think. Where's that piece? The pattern piece I made. I made a pattern piece. Let's use that. How about... Yeah, we're just going to go into the scraps here and grab from over here. Yeah, so this is the stretch direction. So I want this to go this way. And I'm going to cut this piece right here. Or should I do it on the blue? Heck, I can mix it up. One side's going to be on the blue, and the other side's going to be on this stuff. Now, this does have a seam allowance. Just saying. This absolutely has a seam allowance. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about that. What's a seam allowance? A seam allowance is the part that I'm actually gonna sew. I know, right? Boring. That's where the seam allowance is the fabric that's hidden but you need in order to stitch a garment together. Or anything, really. Okay, here we are. Let us cut. I'm gonna cut these, make sure they're super straight with a ruler and a rotary cutter, because why not? I can today. My rotary's in good shape. I know where it is. Let's use it. Cool. There we are. See that? Cuts real nice and straight. Jealous? I know. My mom never let me use her rotary cutter. I don't know why. The blades are cheap. It's helpful. It's so much faster. There we go. See that? Look at that really straight cutting. That's right. That's what we got. When you got a rotary cutter, that's what you get. Really straight cutting. Especially when you can use a ruler. Scissors always give you that kind of really bumpy look. Now, when you put the ruler on it, of course, it's way straighter. There we are. You should always cut away from yourself as I cut towards myself. Here we go. And I do it again a second time in an even worse way. Now I'm gonna cut down this one. Right there-ish. Like this. Not bad. Here we go. Ta-da! Okay, so that's the piece that's going to go up against my helmet. Not bad. Let's do the second one. It's almost done. You know what? I just might get both of these done. That would be wicked cool. All right, there is the earpieces, or the piece that's going to attach to my helmet for my earpiece. So let's cut these out now. Let's put the compass back. There we are. Put it away. And yeah, let's take a straight edge, nice good little ruler, prop it against the sides like this, and cut that edge real nice and straight. And let's do it again on the other side without moving it. What do you think? Do you think I can consistently cut? I can barely see the rounded part. Let's put this back down and redraw that. See, it kind of deviated here. That's alright. We can work with it. You can always go back in with scissors too to clean up anything that's not looking right. Oh yeah, nice curve. Look at that, it's got my little unicorn on my ears. Now this one. Cool. Line it up right there and cut. Line this one up right there and cut. Oop, I didn't quite make it all the way through. There we are. And let's look for that roundedness again. And I'm just using regular old colored pencils to make my marks. You want something that washes out, basically. Okay, so these will be sides of each other. Like this. These will be my ear warmer, ear savers. They'll be like this. And one of these will go along the top. Pretty cool, huh? Isn't it adorable? It's gonna be like this. I'm gonna have unicorns on my face. That's what I should have called this stream. Unicorns on my face. Should I change it? Can I save it right now? Can I change it? I've never tried to change it midstream. Let's do it. There we go. I'm changing it to unicorns on my face. Yes. Are you excited? Are you excited? There we go. Way better. Way better. Okay. It's gonna be unicorns on my face while I ski. Anyways. Those are the things that keep me happier. Do the things that keep you happier when you are suffering from depression. And it's okay to be suffering from a little bit of depression. We all do from time to time. I think it's really, you know, understated that that's like a thing. Like, everyone gets it a little bit. I mean, it's just a question of whether you recognize it or not and have coping mechanisms. So here's hoping my coping mechanisms work. But here we go. Here's the other unicorn ear. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be so great. What heroic music. Nice. Okay, last cut, I think. Cool. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna run around with either unicorns or rainbows on my face. I feel like I need a rhinestone to make this just a little bit better. We're gonna have to figure out how to put rhinestones on this. Okay. Throwing this away. Throwing my scraps away. Here are the ultimate components, pieces of what we're making today. Here we go. Check it out. We have, for one side, we have the unicorns. For the other side, we have the rainbows. With the little tree. I guess it might be a Christmas tree, I'm not sure, but it's a little tree, okay? I'm gonna scoot this in just a smidge. There we go. I feel like you guys will see more of what I'm working on. Okay. Not a bad match. It's not perfect, but not a bad match. When you look here, that's really close. It's moved back, tilted maybe a little bit. I'm not going to fight that at all. And so each of these will go basically between them here. We just might get these done. Okay, let's talk about how we're going to attach this one. Velcro, right? We talked about that. Velcro is one of the most important tools I'm going to use here, if I can find it. Because I've now got piles and piles of fabric everywhere because Joanne's made me buy more than I really wanted. They only let me buy in 1 yard increments, which was just really kind of silly in my book. I only needed half yards, quarter yards, if that. But no, here's my Velcro. Okay, Velcro. I am planning, I think, to sew this Velcro on ahead of time. Okay, at least before I get it into 3D shape. It doesn't have to be ahead of time, but before I get to 3D shape. Yeah. Thinking through it. Let's pull snaps. I do have, so here's my little fixins thing. You know, this is like all the equipment. Not all of it, but a lot of it. to like, you know, this is the stuff, man. This is the stuff. Oh, not that. Not that. This one. I just moved some stuff. Board camera. This one? I don't think that's what you want. I'm trying to get the overhead view big. I had that not long ago. Where did it go? Excuse me. I want this camera big. Hold on. I swear I have that view. Or I'll edit it. Okay, we're gonna edit this into it. You know, like this. And this. Yeah, that'll work for now. Okay, so like, these are all the fixins. And these are like snaps. Where's that helmet? I'm gonna test it's probably not a thing, but I'm gonna test to see if the snaps I have fit into the snaps that are already present. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to like sew on snaps to both my helmet and ear flaps, which is fine. It's just not like the awesomeness. Yeah, they don't work together. Nice thought, nice thought. It was really, really nice thought there for a second. You know. Okay, cool. It was a good thought. It has been a while since I've done snaps like this, so they have a couple different pieces involved. You have to do front and back, right? I'm trying to remember how to do this. So this will be on one side, and then we'll press this on the other side, and it'll snap like that. And then same thing here, but on the back. How am I going to get that through the webbing? Becomes my question. I don't know that I will. I will probably have to sew this piece on individually and then press it together, basically, you know, using a hammer like this. Okay, so I'm going to need at least 4 of those. Or I could use magnets. I like the magnet idea. I kind of do. Let's see. Are these made out? Oh, these snaps are made out of steel. So I could stick magnets in here, and that would connect it to my original. Look at that. It would connect it to the original straps without me having to do as much sewing. Oh, that could be kind of nice. Okay, let's be honest. Thoughts? Should I use magnets? Do we think that'll hold up while I'm skiing? It's against my face. It's not like I'm pulling them off. That's kind of fun. Thinking about it. What are some other fasteners I could use? Here's a really big snap set. I don't have enough of these to do it with this, but it's a way. Come on. Come on. I don't have the, there we are. Here we go. So it could be, it's a magnet snap. I don't think that's where I want to go with this. Any other options? I'm thinking zippers are not right. I mean, you could use these. That's not right either. I do plan to put buttons on so that I can hook my mask around the ear savers. So these are ear savers from the cold and ear savers with, like, you know, cold and warm, or cold and from the straps on a mask. I'm leaning towards the traditional snaps at the moment. because I think they're going to be the most stable. I know, right? But I got to figure out how I'm going to get it on here. I might have to hand sew them. Ugh. Hand sew them. And then, yeah, hand sew, and the others can press through the fabric. Yep, and I'm going to want it to press through both fabrics instead of just one, so that'll be done at the end. When we think about the Velcro, got that in mind. Snaps. What else do I want on this? Buttons, but I think I'm going to want that also structured by going through both fabrics, right? Okay, we might be ready to sew, y'all. I didn't anticipate getting there this fast. Sid's question was a good one. I did not anticipate getting here this fast. All right, where are all my pins? In that weird container that should be connected to my sewing machine but isn't. Here they are. I put batteries in. I was cleaning. Can you tell? All right, let's pin these things together at least part way. We're gonna first sew. This doesn't look right. It's all right. So first things we're gonna sew. Maybe these should have been longer. More of a taper. It'll be fine. This is the hard part. We're going to sew. Oh, this is the inside. The marked side is the inside. So we want that here, and we're gonna sew here. And we're going to use a bunch of pins to make this really curved, okay? Oh, I can turn that back on now because I'm not, you know. Doo-doo-doo. It can be, no, not that one. You guys don't need to see the whole thing. This one. There we go. So we're going to pin here. And it's going to have to curve as it pins, which is a hard thing to do, really. So I generally pin perpendicular to what I'm sewing because it's easier to pull the pins out. And if you have to sew over it, you can. Yeah, that's all. Keep going all the way around. There we are. Okay, why isn't it the same length? I mismeasured. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna pull these out and we're gonna start from the middle then. It'll be all right. I thought these were looking a little short. I should have verbalized it, then you'd believe me. I didn't verbalize it. That's the problem. You don't believe me, it's okay. I wouldn't believe me either. Okay, so starting from the middle so that we can make up for that little bit of a boo-boo. Again, curving the fabric and stretching the fabric a little bit, because that's kind of a nice thing about the fabric we're working with here today, is it does curve. You know what it is? It's seam allowances. That's what it is. So we are going to only sew up to here, and I will double pin it right there to remind myself to stop and not sew further, because that will make my life harder if I do. So I will double pin right there. Oh, so you can see more. That's no good if I'm not like pointed at those. Okay, here we go, and keep going. Should it be tighter? Like that? Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't make the rules. I just keep doing stuff. I do make the rules, at least on this channel. Apparently. All right, so it looks like that. And for the seam allowance, we're going to double pin right here. So we're not going to sew past this mark so that when we get into it, it fits. I'm getting a phone call. I really don't recognize that nutcracker sound when it rings as my ring. Okay. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. That looks good. Now we'll do the other one. Right? Let's go unicorn, unicorn, because it'll be easier to keep track of. Unicorn, unicorn. There we are, just like that. Curve it nicely. And hang out like this. Not bad. Not bad at all. Keep pinning around. Cool. This is looking great. Just like that. Double pin, because we're going to stop because we don't want to get into those seam allowances. And yeah, double pin here for seam allowances. All right, first bit of sewing that's going to happen. I'm going to pull up Baby Lock and we're going to get her involved in this, okay? Pulling the plugs up so I can reach everything. This one probably won't involve much ironing, so my iron's in the way a little bit, but not too bad. Now you remember this rainbow thread if you were on, what was it, Monday? I invented this bobbin thing, so it's still working mostly. Let's change this up. To this one. Yeah? Okay. Right. So you guys can watch the thread spin as I use it. I don't know. What do you want to watch? And I line this up at the double pin because we're not going past there. Ooh. I was just moving my foot pedal around and it like went for it. Okay. That's fine. I really want a cactus pin cushion. I have to get one. Okay, let's tighten that stitch up a little bit. I'm gonna put the needle down and I'm gonna pull out that needle that I just went over. Don't go over your needles, folks. Go back a little bit to make the knot, and then I'm gonna sew forward. And as soon as I approach each pin, I'm gonna pull it out so I don't sew over it. Why do I not sew over my pins? I say this every time I sew. I used to be an avid, go ahead, sew over it person. But I kept breaking needles, and my pins end up bent a lot, and I got tired of replacing needles. And it's really not a big deal. They're not that expensive, but like, it's just annoying. And then pieces of needle like fly through the air, and then sewing becomes this activity that you should probably wear eye protection on. And I mean, I am today, right? Because my contact troubles, but like, yeah, I'm good. Let's not do that. So here we are, sewn on. You can see that. That looks nice. And we'll flip it. That'll be the outside. See that? Not bad. So we're just going to hold that there. That's a little under for the seam allowance, so I'm going to go back in and do a little more from the other side. And let's touch it up. Forward and back to make that knot. A little bit more forward and back. Ugh. Down. Get that fabric fold under there because it's doing something funky. And then call that. what I was looking for. Really bunched up some threads there, but it's fine, okay? Don't judge. I didn't promise that I'd make like the most beautiful seams or anything. I just said I was gonna make stuff. I promised nothing other than I'm making stuff. And that's what I'm doing. Stuff in my studio, I do believe is the clarifying statement. I make no others. Okay, that looks good. Let's do the other one. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Again, start at the double pin because that's kind of marking my seam allowance. And putting down the presser foot and pulling out the pins. Sewing forward, sewing back to make a knot. I kind of went a little far on the back. That'll be all right. All the way. All the way again. All the way to the pins. You can see why pulling the pins out can be really annoying, especially when you're doing like curves like this, because you really want to keep the pins in to the last minute when you're working on curves, because it really keeps your fabric where you want it. Not bad. Nice little knot, and we'll call it through. It is pretty good. And I am still sewing with the rainbow thread because I just can't get enough of it. Here we are. Tie that up nicely. And now we're gonna move baby lock out of the way. And we're gonna pin the next little bit, all right? Right there. The next bit, we are going to, again, put the good sides together. I have to remember which side. I think this is the good side. And we're going to do basically the same thing, but with this other piece. And it's going to be a little challenging, okay? Just trust me on this. A little bit of a challenge. But with enough pins, we can do all things. Right? Trust that following the seam is going to give us the shape that we want, even though right now, right this second, it won't look like it while we're pinning this, okay? You're going to have to trust like your 3D thinking ahead of time, or at least I'm going to have to trust my 3D thinking ahead of time. When they make a pattern, you're just like, okay, I'm going to do this weird thing and I don't understand why, and then you do it, right? And it all turns out beautiful. When you're doing it yourself, you're like, okay, these are the seams that have to line up. I'm going to make them line up. This looks wrong. And then once you're sewn together and everything's all good, you're like, okay, that totally makes sense, but it didn't before. Wisdoms from Amber Nicole. Trust your original 3D vision inside your head, because it's probably right. I don't know. Even that's probably a strong statement. You can always tear it up and do it again. That's the statement of that wins. You can always tear it up and do it again. There we are. Keep it going like this. With all the extra things in there that aren't supposed to really be in there. Shh, don't touch. Okay. Nice little pin here. Keep those lined up. I cut them on that way, those dimensions on purpose. That was purposeful. It's gonna give the shape I want, I think. Watch me do it and it's just like the worst thing ever and it doesn't work at all. It could happen, okay? It really could, but I think this is gonna work. Did I even catch the fabric on the other side? I did, okay. All right. Wait, so that's gonna be the inside. Okay, we're good. We're good. Double pin, so I stop there and don't go past that, because I really have this bad habit of just going, oh, I'm just going to keep sewing, and it's not at all what I should have done. So double pin, right? This is going to work. It's going to be beautiful. Let's do the other one. Where did it go? Do I keep losing things? I might be continually. Uh-oh. Okay. Challenge. Oh, okay, that colored pencil is just going to come right off. And are we okay with that? Or do we have two unicorns facing the same direction? We have two unicorns facing the same direction! I have to tear up a seam. The unicorns can't face the same direction. That defeats everything. Woohoo! I told you, sewing is mostly seam ripping. Didn't I say that? I think I said that in a past stream. Especially when you're like making your own patterns and jazz. It's definitely a lot of seam ripping. Because you do a lot wrong. At least I do a lot wrong. You didn't know this, did you? You're like ashamed now. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to take up sewing. No, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, seam ripping is like a little on the annoying side. A lot on the annoying side even. Here's the other secret, right? I don't want to poke holes in this, so I'm going to switch to the little red side. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but it did. My friend is calling, but I'm streaming. Aw, Heidi, it's okay. We'll talk later. She's being a good friend. She's being a good friend. She is being a good friend. Aw, bummer. I'll call her later. I gotta stream. Aw. I was hoping to talk to her. I don't really have anyone signed on right now. What do you guys think? It's being recorded though. Ugh, I gotta tear this up. Here we are. Ah, come on. I'm trying real hard. There we are. Oh, this is hard. I tied the knot like you're supposed to do, and it's knotted very nicely so that it doesn't want to come out. Annoying. It doesn't want to tear this seam. I don't know why. I must be cutting fabric, which is no good. There we are. Keeping it rolling. Come on. You can do it. You can totally do it. Ha! I probably cut fabric. That was fabric. Okay. It's alright. I'll work with it. There we are. Okay. Coolness. Okay. Don't block the light. That light is important. So that everyone can see what I'm doing, I think. Very good. Boy, seam ripping fleece is hard. Let's try and get up in here. Maybe this will be easier if I can like get in here. There we are. Okay. And then we'll go in at the red side so we don't poke holes in things and hopefully cut thread and not fabric, right? Okay. So much concentration here. This is hard. Seam ripping fleece. Gosh, I'm almost wondering if I should just cut another piece. This is some of the hardest seam ripping I've done. Okay, good. We're getting somewhere now. This is the direction to approach this seam. Things you learn. Puffy seams, approach from the inside. I guess that makes sense. In we go. And then we get each little seam one by one. Not bad. Now, that problem area we were having. How do we address that? It's somewhere, I got a good knot here. That's what it is. Leave in my knots. Oh, there we are. Okay. The rainbow thread is really fun to seam rip. Let's put that on the advertising packaging. Ah, I got it. Okay, we're gonna do it again. And the unicorn is gonna face different directions this time. Yeah? Okay, so if this unicorn is facing this way, this unicorn has to face this way. And that's the inside. I just screwed it up, that's all. That's the inside, so it goes outside. And like this. And we're gonna re-sew it. Pull out as much of the threads as we really can. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Bend it again. Get that middle piece up there. And then we're going to rotate it around and hope it ends up a little mostly symmetrical. Mostly symmetrical. Okay. Cool. All this, right, remember, bend. Just follow that seam, that cut, that shape we traced from the helmet is going to be, in fact, important. So we need to make sure we get that flat and sewn according to the seam that we drew. The more pins we use, the rounder it would be. Just like with the snot savers, you know, the more cuts we make, the rounder it is. There we are. One more pin to mark that end so we don't get into the margins. All right, and let's sew that. This time it's going to be right. Yeah. This time it's going to be right. I think. Yeah, this time it's going to be right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, right here. Move the pedal down without telling it to move. There we are. Press down, pull the pin, and let's start to sew that seam. Why is it going? I don't have enough pressure on it, that's right. Sew back, make a knot, and pull pins as you sew. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's sew the other one. Now it's going to make sense and be right, and the unicorns are going to like both face forward on my face. Face forward on my face. Unicorns on my face. Okay, let's sew this one. This is going to be, trying to decide what the best direction to take this one from is. I think I'm going to do this way so that I can keep little extras out of the way. So we line that up, put the presser foot down, and pull out those two pins that mark where that seam allowance really has to live. So forward and back, make that knot, and pull the pins as we sew. I'm sure there's someone out there that like sews at the perfect pace so that they can pull the needles as they sew consistently. I'm not that person. Cool. That went well. See, like, so little of the time is actually spent with the sewing machine running. Most of it is like seam ripping and piecing things together. So now, when we flip it, look at that, it's got a nice little margin that's going to sit up against the helmet, and it's gonna live kind of like this. You see that? Isn't that fun? Yeah. This is gonna fold down and it's gonna create like a little triangle, a wedge kind of thing. I like it. I like it a lot. The next step, it's rounded already. Maybe I should have done the Velcro at the stage I was at. So I'm gonna do the Velcro at this stage on this one. See? Learning things already. We're gonna pin some Velcro, and I'm gonna move the machine behind me for a second to give me some working room. And Velcro. Where did I put the Velcro? That could also be the title of this screen. Where did I put the Velcro? It's probably stuck to something, because that's what Velcro does. It sticks to things. Oh, it's on my helmet. Of course I didn't see it there. It's black. Coolness. So we want the loop side, not the hook side. That's what we're gonna really sew into this. Right here. I'm gonna pin it so that I know I have that figured out really well. No, that's not the one you want. This is the one you want. Yeah? Cool. Maybe a little bit like that. Yeah. Over here. Right about there. And we're going to pin these on. Means we're going to be left with a little bit of extra loop. I don't know what I plan to use it for. You know, a lot of things seem to do this bit where they don't use loop and then expect it to hold really well. And they just do Velcro on one side, and it really frustrates me. I had a medical boot that did that, and it wouldn't stay. It wouldn't stay tight around my foot. And I really thought that was a negative design experience. Ouch! Okay, first time I poked myself. Anyone take bets on that one? See that? Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking real good. Okay. A few more pins. Hold it along the curve. Okay, and we're going to trim that right there. And I'm pretty happy with that. Let's take a look at it inside the helmet for just a second. And we'll see that it's going to fit right in to this little space. And it's going to show unicorns. So can you see that? It fits into the space, and it's going to block the wind, theoretically. And, you know, we'll have to put little snaps on it on front of it. Oh no, do the straps. Maybe we don't need to. No, we'll need to. I tried this so hard. It's still not perfect. Surprise, surprise. Ouch. And it'll, see, it's a unicorn. Might look a little bit like a horse, but it's a unicorn, okay? We can scoot it forward. See? That's how it's gonna live on my ears and protect myself. I'll add something to, you know, make that horn really pop. Maybe some glow-in-the-dark something. That'll be good. I have some glow-in-the-dark thread. Oh my gosh, should I do it now before I sew the two together? Because the other side we're not going to want glow in the dark. Let me think. Can I get the glow in the dark thread real fast? Do I have it really accessible? I can always hand embroider it. I always forget that. More snaps, pins, embroidery thread. Snaps, pins, hook and eyes. Yeah, I don't have glow in the dark super readily available. I know I have glow in the dark thread somewhere. I'm just not seeing it right this second. So we're gonna skip that for now and I'll hand embroider glow in the dark corn onto the unicorn. This looks good. What do you think? Yeah? Let's sew that. Let's pin the other one on so that we're ready for 2 sewings at the same time. More hook and loop closure. End of the seam. Right there. And let's start pinning again. Yeah, so if I were to do this again, I would definitely do the Velcro before I sewed the 2 pieces together. It's not going to be a huge negative. No one's going to notice. It's just a little harder to do it this way because now this piece is already 3D. And I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Like you saw me, I was like, do I do the Velcro now or do I do it later? And I was like, no, later is fine, but it's definitely going to be easier to do. There we are. Just like that. Now, because there's some stretch in this, we kind of want to make sure that's real straight. Hint. Poking that through. There we are. What time is it? Okay, we're at 3:12. I probably have like, half hour to 45 more minutes of this. There we are. And we're gonna pin that down and trim it. Cool. You know, if you're going through hard times right now, my heart really goes out to you. There are a lot of people going through some hard stuff. You know, different places are shutting down for like jobs and stuff. And that's hard. That's hard for people who are working. Their jobs, their incomes are in jeopardy, and my heart breaks for them. Like shutting down some of those things, from a health perspective makes a lot of sense, but it's really hard from a work perspective and from an income perspective. And I worry about people who are going through that right now quite a bit. I hope you're not, but if you are, you know, the world, I am thinking of you. I think the world is thinking of you and is concerned for you. It will be okay. I think. It will. It will. All right, we've got Velcro sewn onto the 2 pieces. See that? And we're going to sew those on, and that's what's going to connect it to my helmet. This is too awesome, people. Oh, something I didn't think of is I am planning on putting buttons on this, and the buttons are going to be for mask wearing. and holding that real tight against my face. I think I'll be pulling from this bucket, not this bucket, right? Maybe I'll go with the straight up blue. They're kind of flexible. They might get brittle in this. So these all ended up just a smidge flexible, didn't they? You know, so they're maybe not perfect buttons. I probably overloaded with glow in the dark powder because that's who I am. Ooh, these are good. So I'm right now ouch! Ooh, that was a bad one. I went deep. Well, that hurt. Okay. Let's see, we'll pick a good button. Ooh, I like those. I did test like this clearish glitter. That could be nice for a hidden button on the unicorn, you know? We'll have to figure out exactly where the placement should be on it. It's another like this. I don't know. So ooh. Oh, that's the one I'd want, I think. There'll probably have to be buttons on both sides, but I have to think about that because when I do that, it sometimes hurts against the skin on the other side. Where are they all? Did I lose buttons somehow? I have matches for every single one. I made them. Well, these may be the matches, but they're different thicknesses, so we maybe won't use those. These are matches, these are matches, these are matches. Okay. That's not a match. These are a match, but they're flexible. I put too much glow in the dark powder, so the resin couldn't quite get to itself and set. So I'm thinking these, maybe those. Let's take a look at them with the glow in the dark just to be completely sure that's what we want. I can hit them real good with this flashlight, or I can find the glow. There's the glow in the dark. So if we hit, you're probably not going to see that they glow in the dark, but if I hit with, ooh, buddy, I don't do much night skiing. Maybe I should. So let's take a look. It's too bright in here, I suspect. I mean, it glows. That one glows blue and orange. This one glows the best because that's only glow powder. Can you see that? That glows the best. But you can kind of see it, you know, in the trail. So it's gonna be one of these. I don't know which. Oh, that's not a match. What am I doing? Those two are not matches. These two are matches. These two are matches. No, I have found them. Oh, those are not matches. Fascinating. And they're very flexible, so that won't work. I like the idea of the smooth buttons. It's okay. So, yeah, one of these is gonna get used. Maybe two. Well, 4. 2 or 4. All right, let's do it. Enough chit-chatting. Let's get to the real stuff. Grandbaby lock back on over. Wrong way. There we are. And we're gonna sew with that nice rainbow thread. Right on there. Right on the edge. And we're gonna do it. Right, forward just a little, back a little. And we are doing this in super contrasting thread. It will make it easier for you to see. It will make it interesting for my life. Yeah, that's my answer. That's my one and final answer. And we're going to pull these pins as we work. There we are. We'll get it that way. I think I can turn this one a little more. There we are. Trying to get you all the views. You know, just saying. And watch the thread spin. How about that? So funny. Like, I'm a creative, right? So I do understand a little bit about framing and a little bit about making things. And combining them here, like making sure you guys can see everything I'm doing with my hands is just kind of the funniest thing for me. Not bad, not bad. Okay, one whole side sewn on and knotted. When you knot with the contrast thread, you really do see it. Not bad, right? It's in there. So now I'm going to do the other side. There we go. Pull that thread out too as I work. Or throw the fabric out so it doesn't get caught. Not bad. Gosh, I can remember when my sewing was like so wiggly. It's so much straighter these days. Look at that. You love it, don't you? You just love it. Yeah? You love it. Okay, now the other one. This one will be the easier one because I didn't completely sew it on yet. Because I made a different mistake. Different mistake altogether. So forward, knot over the pin so we don't break it. Back to make that knot, and then forward. Forward, yeah, this is working. Pulling that fabric though away at the same time. And let's sew the other side. Nice and down with the knot and forward. How fast can we go? The straighter, the faster, the straighter, in my opinion. Not bad. We got off a little bit. I'm going to go back and go over that. I went too fast. I got off. Ah! Okay. Sewing machine has a mind of its own sometimes. Alright, let's go over that. It's not perfect. You know what? No one's gonna like look at this and be like, that's not perfect. If they are, they're not my friend. How did I miss it twice? Or, oh no, I'm just in blue thread. Okay. That's fine. I'm still gonna go over that part twice. 3 times. Just be secure, okay? That's all I want. Cool. That's on. It's not pretty, but it's on. Let's pin the next piece. Oh, no, that's not the next piece. That's already connected to a piece. There it is. And this is the rainbow piece. And I'm going to trim up these threads because these will get in my way and bother me. Wow, that's a lot of weird threads going on in the back because of that mistake I made. It's alright. No one's gonna notice because that's gonna be on the inside. There we go. Not bad. Working my ways around it. Cool. So again, we're going to pin these together, right? With the knowledge that this is the right shape. You know, we have two different shapes here that we're pinning together. See that? But if we follow the shapes, it's gonna end up okay. And it'll be hunky-dory. It really will, I think. Don't quote me on any of this. Like, I'm not sewing with Nancy, okay? I'm just some artist who's making some stuff. Here we are. Moving along. Really bringing that up. Cool. Now for the next side, it makes this step a little harder because that Velcro really stiffens everything up. But I think it's the right choice to do it first. I really do. And I should have done it first on the other, but I didn't. Okay. And the last time I sewed it from this direction, and I think that's what I'm going to do again. Let's line this up. Put a nice little stamp on it right there. You ready for this? You want to watch the thread spin? Forward, back to make that knot. And then we're going to pull the pins as we sew. Not bad. I think we've got two good looking ear shapes now. Of course it does stick to the Velcro. When you unfold it, it still looks good. Now we get to pin the next things. So, all of a sudden a little runny. That's new. I haven't been anywhere. Right, and we're going to pin this down to the unicorn. And that'll be the next thing that we sew. Just that, I think. So you see, yeah. Just like that. Sew into the unicorn side. See that? Again. And we're going to do it again on the other side. There we go. Pin all this in together. Nice. I'll be right back. I'm back. In case you were questioning, I'm back. So we've pinned it now to these sides. Now we're going to do it to the other ear protector thingy mabobber. Are we doing these on the right side? Yeah. Okay, so just like that. I'm not convinced. I gotta look at that other one. I'm now worried I'm sewing it on backwards. Lady Verona! How are you? Welcome, welcome. Ooh, was it a good audiobook? I just finished The Dark Tower by Stephen King. I'm confused by it. I'm not sure I'm into the characters enough to pick up the next one. Honestly, not sure. Alright, we're gonna fold this down. This one didn't quite happen quite right. So, but that's okay. It's okay. It's the rainbow side, so it's not gonna be a big deal. And just pin here. I don't know, Veronica Roth. Honestly, Dark Tower may be my first Stephen King book. You're reorganizing the master closet. Now that sounds like work. That sounds annoying. Yeah, I think this is wrong. Let's see here. Actually, this just maybe, it's easier maybe to come at it from this perspective. Okay, so here we are. Unicorns, we're gonna sew down those two sides on both pieces. Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't get into the Divergent series. I did watch like one of the movies or something, but it didn't really capture me. I know movies are a terrible way to judge an author. Okay, sewing forward. Sewing back, sewing forward. Pulling pins as we sew, because we don't want to deal with the heartache of knot. Okay, that went off. We're gonna figure out what to do there. Yeah, I got off there pretty early on. Okay. Let's see, that's where the pinning is so important. I'm gonna try to go at it from this side, see if that holds it on a little better. And we're gonna move the needle over. How are you, Lady Verona? Ooh. That caught that thread. That's weird. Let's pull that thread out. It's not liking this. It's too small of a margarine. Margarine? Too small of a margin. There we are. Oh, come on out. Come on out. It got caught. There we are. See? Too small margin. Isn't that what I said? Okay, it'll work-ish. Let's do the other side, see if we have the same problem. We probably will. Just saying. I'm gonna pin that very, very tip then, and see if that helps protect from it falling in. Oh, that's fun. That's very good. Glad you found that one out. Alright, we're gonna sew this right here. I'm glad to hear that, Lady Verona. Sewing it down, sewing it down. I don't think I've caught the thread completely over here. I don't think I caught the other side. Oh, I did, mostly. We're still gonna sew down though, because I want to make sure we get that real good. This is sporting equipment after all. Okay. Oh, I'm sewing on the wrong side. Stop, stop, stop. There we are. Still not great. This fleece is kind of soft. I'm used to a more structured fabric. I hate that. Really, really hate that. Trying to figure out where to get, there we are. Cool. Nice, thanks, sewing machine. You gotta eat the fabric, huh? It'll be fine enough. Repurposing old t-shirts, I just turn them into rags usually. I mean, I get men's shirts, I buy men's shirts so they last longer, and then I put them into women's sizes by editing them down. There we are. Now we're gonna take these other, okay, so this one worked-ish. Now we're gonna do the other one. I'm gonna pin that tip down a little more than I did before, so we maybe prevent some of the issues I had. I don't know. This is getting hard. This one's getting hard. Reusable bags. Well, that's a good use. Especially since, like, you know, that's the reduce reuse aspect where they're saying reusable bags are like not actually good for the environment, which sucks. I've definitely tried to switch to using those as much as possible. So there you'll notice I sewed over my pins because I wanted it to hold on. Alright, and it looks a lot better. So we'll do that again on the other side. Add another pin or two and sew through. Okay, and pin that tip down and sew over the needles because this piece of fabric is just too small to get a good handle on, really. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Right there. Sew down. Oh, I lost my thread. That happens. Especially when you have short tails. And I tend to have short tails, I guess. This thread is kind of sheddy. Alright, cheap rainbow thread on Amazon. Don't buy it. There we are. Cool. Going back. And then forward again. Okay, staying on top of those pins. Alright, it went okay. That was acceptable. Not what I usually like to do, sewing over those pins. I mean, it's my old habit, but I've moved away from it. Alright, trim those threads, and let's get the other sides all added together, right? Whoops. Oh, I'm getting old. Can you tell? I usually can. Here we are. You know, just trimming this up so I have great ear protectors. Okay, and then we flip it. No, we don't flip it yet. Don't flip it yet. Don't do it. Cool, that's an extra thread. Let's do that. Pull it away. Make sure the other one's all trimmed up too. Two sides to everything. Gotta make two of everything. There we go. Nice. Much more cleaned up. And now we sew these together. And we're gonna sew, I'm trying to decide, where should I do my like turnout seam? Should that be, I think it's gonna be here-ish, the back of the unicorn. Okay, so let's sew this. Pin it first. Lots of pins right there because I'm discovering the felt likes to kind of get eaten in the plate of the machine. And I don't want to deal with that. Plenty of pins on soft fabrics. It's hard to sew in 3 dimensions. Just saying. If this is your first 3-dimension observation, try sewing something flat first. I remember I made like a billion paper bag ornaments by sewing them growing up. I still have one. It hangs on my tree. Yeah, I remember that. There we are. All right, and one more pin to get that corner nice and done, because I don't want to lose it into the plate again like I did the others. Kind of like that. That looks good. I think that'll take. I'm going to go ahead and pin that over here so we don't accidentally sew this side into what we're doing. There we are. Not bad. Things I learned. Okay. Let's do this side first. Pin it on. Get it on in there. Yeah, just like this. That's what I want. Some pins on it. Not bad at all. We're going to try to pin that corner in. That may require some hand sewing ultimately when we get to the end. I'm not certain. We'll have to really think about it. You'll notice my markings are all still on the outside. That's because you want to sew these seams on the outside and then kind of flip it over like a pillowcase. I say that, but like I wonder where I picked that up. Like it's like a pillowcase. Like that's like a universal thing that everyone understands or is sewn in the past, and really it isn't. Pillowcases are just a really good place to start with your sewing, surely. I don't know. I should drink water. I don't think I've drank water this whole stream. That's no good. Okay. Put the pins out of the way and drink some water. Let's sew it together. Okay. So exciting news. The school that I work at part-time as the art teacher is having a tough week. They went back to school Monday. But so many teachers have COVID now that they're having to shut down the whole school. They were just going to shut down middle school and high school again, but they can't do that now, and now they're shutting down and going remote for all classes, all grades. So there were just some minor fires I had to put out this afternoon. Just not big deals, like it's just because I do, I'm going skiing, so I'm going to need a sub, and their quarantine everything will basically make the school quarantine up until I go on vacation. So, as the art teacher, only some of it is required, basically. Like, the elementary students don't have to do the art stuff remotely. And I just give them little assignments and they can work on it and upload pictures. So, that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to have to go back to school once everything's cleaned to, one, get my grade book. So that I can enter some grades for some stuff. And two, because I need to set up the room for the substitute. So that's going to be fun. It does get kind of complicated where they're going remote and yeah. Man, oh man, I'm gonna have to this one's gonna be hard. I don't know. And so there's not enough time for me to get a kit to the after school kids I teach at that school. So I have to come up with a lesson for tomorrow that I'll teach in after school that involves absolutely no supplies. Because I can't get a kid home. I'm thinking about it. I have some ideas. It will be okay. I'm just bewildered. No, that's not even the right word. I don't know. I don't know what I am, okay? I don't want to label it. But, you know, it's a hard world out there for teachers. Just saying. It's a hard world for teachers. I don't like going remote because I feel like I don't connect with my students as well. Is it snowing there? No, this morning was weird though. So Dave left, I don't know what time. So, and then the ice really, and it was just a little wet out. It wasn't anything. And Dave made it to work just fine. You know, biking. So he biked instead of the skateboard. We're only a mile from about where my partner is employed, and so that's really easy, right? But this morning, you know, Dave made it into work, and a bunch of people didn't, and he like texted me and was like, "Don't go anywhere this morning." I was like, "What?" Yeah, he was like, don't go anywhere. And I'm like, okay. Because all the roads were so icy, most of the people he worked with weren't making it in. So, like, that's intense. It wasn't snow, it was ice. Something happened, temperatures changed, I don't know. But as soon as the rain hit, it was like black ice everywhere. Like, the entire city was gridlocked. It was like red and dark red. I swear I saw some black on Google Maps when I looked at it, just trying to figure out what was going on and see what was happening, because I thought I needed to make a trip to Home Depot to get some super interesting supplies for working on the house. I didn't. It was fine. Well, I will, but not yet. At 4 in a little bit. I don't know. It was icy, so we don't have snow right now. Yeah, we'd have to get some more snow. Some of the kids might have snow. How did this go? Ah, not bad. Okay. All right, so we've made this. What is this? Yeah, it was intense this morning. So I didn't go anywhere. So here we are. We've made it. It's sewn. This is still an open edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew down this edge to about here so there's enough space to flip it. And then that final bit will have to be hand sewn. Fleece is nice because, you know, it doesn't, or flannel is nice. And this is flannel. Well, is this flannel or fleece? Whatever. We've had that discussion. So, where was I? Oh yeah, so like a pillowcase, leave a little opening so you can flip it inside out. But we're gonna sew these in. But it's really beginning to look like what I expected, and they just might be like pretty much done, other than the snaps, by the end of my stream today, which is not what I promised Sid. I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it does look like it's happening, so that's fun. But yeah, lots of fires and ices to put out this morning, just in terms of educating. There we go. And I don't want to go any further than that because I need to be able to flip it out. Not bad, right? That Velcro's gonna be hard to get out though. Mark my words now. Maybe I should make it bigger. I'm gonna say it later. I'm gonna be like, I should have made this bigger. You know, just saying. So here we go, pinning the last of it together. So we get that nice professional look to it. I probably should have made those points a little longer. Like I made them about 2 inches. I thought that was an adequate, you know, gradient. I think I would have gone 5 at this point. 5 feels more right. 5 feels more right. That's okay. Next time, maybe I'll remake them. I'll find the perfect fabric to make them in. And it, you know, whatever. It would be great. Getting the last bit, which is going to be right here and here. Double pin that so I don't sew past that. because I really tend to just ignore my little markings. So double pin is harder. I have to pull it out. I have to acknowledge the fact that there's a pin there. Markings I can just sew right over. So here we go. Gosh, I want to sew the wrong direction so bad. I think I'm going to do it. Okay. Right there. So put the pin down, needle down, and then I'm going to pull the pins. So forward, and back, and forward. Pretty much on the line. Whoop, hit it. That was me. That was my fault. In we go. All the way, and sew back, forward, that's the knot. Let's do it to the other side. In the wrong direction, again. Because it just feels right for this piece. Forward, and back, that nice little knot, pull those pins that are really behind any sewing, but I just don't want to poke myself. And keep going. Okay, it's acting weird. Why is it acting weird? Am I picking up the wrong stuff? Okay. Nice. Oh, I think that went beautifully. Okay, let's pull it up. I might have accidentally sewn something I didn't want to. We'll take a look at how it opens. Okay. Let's do this. Pull it through the hole here, like this. Just like this. Okay, and that's the part, yeah, I did. I accidentally sewed something here I don't think I wanted to. Let's see how bad it is and if I need to adjust anything. There it is. That side, this looks great. Look at that. This, you know what, is anyone gonna notice? That's a question I keep asking myself. Let's check out the other side. The reveal, the big reveal, y'all. Nice. Okay. Yeah, next time I would definitely, oh, it looks like I did sew over here, something I didn't want. Okay. And it's at the front. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay, okay, I'm gonna have to spend some time on fixing that one. That's gonna be fun. But, you know, it is functional. So let's put it in the helmet. Helmet. Unicorn side forward. Right. Just like this, pushing it in there. Just like that. Press it in real good. So all those little hooks and loops can catch it. Oh my gosh. This helmet started out baby pink, and it's beginning to really look childish again. Okay. Let's put it on. Yeah? Okay. Let's put it on. Goes this way. And is it going to keep my ears warm? The question is, will it keep my ears warm? I think it will. even if I don't fix the little boo-boos. How do I feel? Well, how's that look? Yeah. Oh, you can barely see the unicorn. That's too bad. It kind of needs... Well, I can put the snaps on, but you missed a leg. That's too bad. All that work. Let's put to the rainbow side then. It was a good lesson why it doesn't work. It's just too small for that big of a pattern. Let's put it in the other way. Yeah, like this. Press it in there real good. That looks great. To the other side. Okay, let's put it on the head. That was very Kristen Shaw of me, I feel like. One of the only celebrities I care about. Okay, and then, so I'm gonna wanna do something so that it follows the strap. I mean, it's adorable, so we do that, and then we put this on. Oh, wrong way. Here we are. And, you know, when I tie it up like this is when people will see it. Barely. But it will protect my ears. I wonder if I should leave that with an access pocket so I could put like headphones in there if I wanted. I'm going to move it in just a bit so it lies a little tighter to my ears. There we are, right there. Try that again. Oh, that's much better. I can already tell. So now it's just gotta like find a way to make it really follow along the straps, right? And that'll be either like snaps, which is where I'm headed, or magnets. Did I twist this? Looks like I twisted this. Hold up. There we are. There you go. Yeah, that side looks better than the unicorns. It does not look factory. Yeah, and I like it better, closer into the ears a little bit more, which means that additional like 3D-ness we did at the top is maybe unnecessary. And that's just way, way too bad. There we go. Let's tie it up. Just like that. Whoop, that part goes up. This part comes down because that goes around the neck. There we are. So this is what people will see. It doesn't really actually look like it's connected to my helmet. It just looks like they're ear warmers that I'm wearing. But, I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get one of the things off my head. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, we'll also have to talk about, like, adapting this for mask wearing, because that's going to be a challenging adaptation. I'm going to want to put probably a button on the way back here that I'll be able to hook to. Yeah, it's going to be right here. It's probably going to be on my straps instead of the felt, which is fine. Giant eyes. I thought about putting little horns on it, trying to push the Yeti direction. Eyes would be adorable. Boy, my nails are a mess. They must be drying out. So yeah, okay, I call this a win. It's not quite done. I don't know that I'm gonna need to fix my boo-boos in that last sewing step that I made. They seem to be holding on all right. I may fold these tips in right here, these tips here, and allow them to be access pockets to maybe one day put like speaker, you know, little headphones in or something. I ski with friends these days, so I don't really do the headphone thing. When I skied alone with my family, I did. We're gonna want to find a way to attach this to the straps. Snaps are probably appropriate. Yeah, like that. Can you see that? So, I mean, it's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not unattractive. Yeah, cool. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll see how it holds up after a little bit of skiing, right? I see some padding in my helmet that maybe needs to be glued back down. So there's that too. Yeah. So snaps here and here. I'm gonna tighten them a bit so it's tighter on my chin over in here. But snaps here and here, and then, you know, here and here ought to hold this in place and hold these where they belong. I like that I'm getting through most of my projects before my trip. That's nice. That's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, that's what I have planned for today. I got some things to do. I gotta go Home Depot and get some like I gotta get some caulk saver because I need to caulk some trim, and there's some big gaps in it because it's an old house, and I need to go get that foamy stuff to stuff in those holes and make it all work again. My nails are breaking all over the place, so I need to go trim those up before I go, because otherwise I'll just be like, oh my god, obsessed with them. If you love my shirt, check it out on my website, unchartered.org. There's a couple of hoodies left and a couple t-shirts left. I'd love to sell them. They're taking up space in my studio. They need to go. Yeah, that's all. I hope your day goes beautifully and you get everything done in it that you wanted. I hope you feel creative, that you feel decisive and comfortable and warm. Those are my wishes for you, along with peace, love, and science.